Yeah, it just makes you process everything better. Yeah. All right, bro.
Keep looking beautiful.
Do my best. Yeah, I'm under 190 pounds. I haven't been this light in probably 10 years.
Is that the goal? To like get you real slim?
There's not a specific weight goal. It's just a look, right? Like, so I have to just be as fat-free, shredded as possible.
It's just a ratio, pretty much.
It's just a look.
How lean?
Like, nobody cares when you get on stage. They don't care really what you weigh. It's just how you look, and they don't care how much you lift or anything. It's just.
It's not about like actual size.
Well, yeah, I mean it is, but I'm not losing a whole lot of size. I'm just really conditioned. I mean more.
I guess you look way more puffy because you fat on top.
Yeah, you definitely. I mean, I was 230 whenever I started, so now I'm 190. Welcome back, YouTube. We are hitting a little back bicep day, a little pull day. So starting off with some pullovers, just to get the lats really stretched out, and then we're getting some single arm pull downs. We'll get some chest supported rows, a lot of just rows today for the most part, a lot of horizontal pulling. So just trying to get thick and keep growing as much as we can. Exactly 30 days from the show, so feeling good. Hitting one final set here, a back down set like usual for the last one. Typically where we're adding volume is later on in the sets. So instead of adding doing 3 sets one week and 4 sets another week, 5 sets the last week, on our first movements, we're shifting that towards the very end, because if we start adding a bunch of sets in the very beginning, you're really probably not going to be able to progress a lot of those later on lifts. So prioritizing just pushing the weight up for the first couple sets, first couple movements in your exercise, and then later on, adding sets and volume. It's kind of the methodology that I use. Just hitting one warm-up set here. Not even really a warm-up, just more of a position check. Make sure everything feels good, feels right, the length, the seat position, and then we'll just get into the working weight. We should be pretty warm by now after the first compound lat movement. That was a grind, but a lot of mid-back activation, good lat contraction, minimal traps, 1 rep more than last week. All good things. Yeah, feeling good today. Kind of rebuilding this movement, focusing on getting really deep range of motion, pausing in that bottom position rather than just pulling using momentum and then like slinging the weight back up. This movement's always been a little tricky for me just because of range of motion. Getting the weight down to my chin really forces me to have to go really light. So kind of taking a step back, rebuilding this movement, going lighter, more disciplined, and just really focusing on maintaining tension the entire time rather than, again, using any kind of momentum. Oh. So kind of getting a shrug row, starting from a really low position, pulling the elbows high, but just kind of the elevation that we're sitting at. It's not so horizontal, it's still more like vertical. So we're getting a little bit more of that upward scapular rotation, engaging the traps a little bit, but really just focusing on a lot of that middle density in the back. Ooh, mid back is on fire right now. Yeah. Here at 1. Yeah. Are you? Okay. We're gonna get some pullovers, a little rear delt row variation, back on the chest supported, and then we'll hit some biceps. Maybe get some rear delt flies too, but we've kind of been experimenting more with a row variation, more dominant kind of rear delts at a bit of a 45-degree angle. After listening to JP and Kasim Hansen talk about kind of the rear delt anatomy earlier this morning, kind of had me thinking about ways to really overload the rear delts outside of just, rear delt flies. So pulling with that kind of downward V angle, really focusing on driving my elbows back as far as I can, and initiating with the rear delts really helps activate and overload the rear delts in a more row dominant movement. So you can use more weight and indirectly kind of isolate the rear delt, as opposed to obviously with, you know, rear delt flies and things like that, we got to go much, much lighter. So starting off here, trying to get really heavy, move, load with those rear delts, and then go to a lighter weight, more isolation exercise. Although we're prioritizing the rear delt with this row variation, we're not necessarily truly isolating it. So that's kind of the big difference, is getting a little bit more assistance, hitting it with a little heavier load, getting a lot of mind to muscle connection there, and then going to just pure isolation. Bye, Leah. So using kind of a, I believe John Meadows came up with this, but starting off really, really heavy with the rear delt rows, or rear delt flies, using a weight that you can't do a full repetition, so we're really overloading the lengthen phase, and then dropping the weights using the performance pins and going greater range of motion with lighter weight. So kind of a way to really overload the lengthen phase, and then once you fatigue, be able to kind of work into the more medium and shortened phases. Just progressively dropping the weight. Started off really heavy for like a 10 rep max kind of weight, and then just trying to kind of get as many reps as I can as we drop the weight down set by set here. Whew. Whew. Okay, we're gonna move on to some dumbbell alternating curls, just higher reps. Try to push for like 15 to 20 reps for 4 sets and then be done. Whew. You get to a certain point where your 20-pound dumbbells feel like 100-pound dumbbells, but that's just being 30 days out from a show. Just kind of the way it goes. Okay. Little pump check. That is a wrap for today. Back bicep day, a lot of just rows, pull down variations, and then hitting a lot of rear delts, trying to just get as much width as we can possibly. So trying to just create some good wings. And then of course, just finishing with a lot of high rep volume bicep work. So just trying to maintain as much muscle mass as we can in the calorie deficit that we're in. Luckily, we're kind of inching the calories up a little bit and just trying to maintain for these next 30 days. So while we could still kind of recomp just a little bit here and shed a little bit of fat, a lot of the appearance is all going to kind of come together as we start kind of refeeding and, you know, playing with water and cutting and tanning and all that stuff. So yeah, luckily all of our posing has been a lot better. We've been practicing that a lot more. My left lat is opening up a lot more. So whenever I get into those like lat spreads, it's much easier just to get into that position as opposed to before that left lat was kind of stuck. So we've been working on a lot of things, a lot of the pull down variations that we've been doing, just those wider grip pull down variations where I'm pausing at the bottom and then doing a lot of rear delt work just to kind of open up that scapula, open up that trap, release a lot of the tension from the neck. And then of course we're doing a lot of manual therapy every week too. So we'll get some posing practice tomorrow, check in, and some manual therapy, get a little bit of full body flush, and just, yeah, get ready for the B cycle of the training block for the week. So we'll get legs on Friday, mostly just recovery, a little cardio, a lot of posing, and again, yeah, some myofascial work tomorrow. But other than that, that is a wrap for today. Yeah, feeling good. Everything's coming together little by little, day by day, piece by piece, brick by brick, getting built. So thanks for liking, watching, following, subscribing, loving, hating, all that stuff. We're gonna sit on our ass and eat for the rest of the day. And then, yeah, just get ready mentally for check-in tomorrow. So yeah, we'll see you on the next one when we crush some legs. Bo Alexander, Adapt Fitness, Dallas, Texas, Battle of Texas, exactly 30 days out. And we'll see you then, but we'll see you before that too. Bye.